You have to decide, do I want to save 1,000 of that in Bitcoin, 2,500 in Bitcoin, 5,000 in Bitcoin, and then you have to decide what you want to do with the rest of it. But you can't store the $5,000 in Bitcoin and fiat currency at the same time. And this idea of having kind of a fiat currency sitting on top of Bitcoin, even in that world, you have to choose because there is something fundamentally different. Even if you're using a custodian, it would be fundamentally different if you were to deposit $5,000 into the Bitcoin exchange and have a liability of the exchange, like a deposit that's denominated in dollars, versus having a contract and a liability that's denominated in Bitcoin. If you deposited $5,000 into the crypto slash Bitcoin exchange and it was a $5,000 dollar denominated liability, that is fundamentally different than you have X sats from a contractual perspective. And so, like, if you think about the history of gold, gold was convertible to dollars. You would put your gold in the bank and the bank would give you $20. The gold in the bank was the bank's. You now had the dollars. And there was a contract that said you could convert those dollars back to 1 ounce of gold. That contract was later broken in 1934 when the government devalued the dollar to 35 to 1. But it's this distinction of if you're trying to, like, have this idea that you're going to save in Bitcoin and spend your dollars. Well, the first thing is, as an example right now with the ETF, you don't actually have Bitcoin. You have stock or some security in an exchange traded fund that has a claim on Bitcoin, but your asset is the claim on Bitcoin, not the Bitcoin itself. And even though IBIT's working on being able to allow you to take Bitcoin in kind, it's drawing this distinction that if you had this fiat currency sitting on top of Bitcoin, you could either live in a world where you actually own the Bitcoin directly and it's titled to you, or you could have a fiat currency that's convertible, or you could just hold a fiat currency that's free floating. But in any of those cases, you have to decide what percentage of the value you're saving in Bitcoin and what percentage you're saving in dollars.